to apologize for the crappy quality and lighting. I'm actually in my bathroom right now because it's the warmest room in my house. As of right now anyway. So the other day, it was sort of a weird coincidence of things that happened, but I'll start with a few years back. Now, I don't remember when exactly we found out about it. I want to say somewhere in the 2015, 2016 area. It may have even been before that. We found out that we think somebody in Mexico, Spanish speaker, doesn't speak very much English, stole some of Frankie's pictures from, I don't know if it was Facebook or MySpace. They were very, very old pictures. Some of them were from before we were even together, so earlier than 2007. An old, especially a photo of him in his dress blues. So he's in the Marine Corps, for those of you that don't know, and he has a picture, it's maybe from like here up, and he has his dress blues on in the photo. So we know that picture for sure. There's a few other older photos that were profile photos on Facebook, but were also on his MySpace. So again, we're not sure which it came from, but somebody had stole these photos and were basically catfishing all these other women. There's women from Mexico, Brazil, and Peru that I found out recently. At the time, I only knew of a few that were in Mexico and one from Brazil. Now I found out there are others from Brazil, a few from Peru. Those are the only ones that I personally know of so far. So they created this fake profile, and it was like Franklin Principe del Castillo. It basically translates to like Frank, Prince of the Castle or something. I don't know. It was really weird. And they created a whole fake family. There was a fake brother, a fake aunt, fake cousins, fake friends, fake co-workers, other fake military accounts that supposedly were serving with him, and all this other stuff. Now, so the brother's name, it was Bryan. It was like the same thing. It was like Bryan Principe del Castillo, something along those lines. I have a Tumblr post where I have some screenshots of the stuff that I just found recently. Now, I do have older information somewhere on one of my old cell phones, and so does Frankie, but so anyway, they catfished tons of these like women and then killed him off. It was like, oh yeah, he got killed over in Afghanistan along with his aunt and two cousins. I mean, it was really weird. Like, the story didn't even make sense, but these women all believed it, and they were all so heartbroken and all this stuff, and they created this memorial page. And so most of this is in Spanish, and my Spanish speaking is very, very limited. I did take 4 years in school, but I might as well have only taken one. And I was so far behind by that point that when I got to college, I switched to ASL instead. So anyway, he doesn't speak much Spanish. I don't speak much Spanish. You can only rely on translation so much because a lot of Facebook translations don't make any bit of sense. So even Google Translate is very like, some of it's right, some of it's wrong. A lot of it doesn't make sense, so I don't think it's right. But again, we found this memorial page, and it was kind of brought to our attention through one of the females that was catfished. She had found his actual profile and brought it to our attention. So we found the page, and when we got on the page, we were, along with her help, able to get it taken down. Well, the one that had it, one admin changed it into like the thing for her poems or something now, but the page is actually still there, and I am still a part of this page. But when, we were trying to say like, hey, look, he's alive, this wasn't him that you were talking to, like, if someone stole his pictures and stuff, they did not want to believe it. Like, we got hate mail, me, him, the other lady that was helping us. we were all getting hate mail. Like, I don't know if they thought we were fake profiles. I'm like, I mean, just like look at my profile, you know it's obviously not fake. Even though I have a lot of my stuff set to private, I have enough that's set to public that, like, I mean, whatever. It is what it is. I don't know these women. I feel bad for them, but like we tried to like set it straight, but so I think it kind of scared off these people for like a while. It's been about a year. And it was brought to my attention again the other day that the fake brother was active again. Now, I get on it from my Facebook, and it's not showing any activity since like last year around the time that we got this fake memorial. Well, it wasn't fake, but I mean memorial page for this fake person taken down. And so I was like, okay, maybe like they didn't have me blocked completely, but they must have me blocked from seeing posts. So I switched on to my one nonprofit's Facebook, and there from the one, the same thing, couldn't see anything. They obviously had that blocked too, so they didn't know about our paranormal investigation group. And I'm like, well, I'm going to get on that and see from that Facebook if I can see or not. So I got on, and I was able to see some of the posts, and they're active again and trying to get the sympathy of these women because their brother and aunt and cousins were killed in Afghanistan. And I'm like, okay, no, like this is not even happening, and I'm gonna have to bleep that because I just swore. But so it's been like a nightmare, and they've been doing this since 2012 that we know of, and that's the only profile that I know of. I did try to do like a reverse image search and stuff to see if anything else happened to pop up, and nothing came up. Not even his stuff, my stuff, nothing. So it's hard to say. They tend to like resize and like put like stuff over, like, I don't want to say filters, but sometimes filters, or like the Facebook things where you can have the borders and stuff. And I don't know if that messes with it. We think it might. Because a lot of times they do tend to do that with or like make it to a collage so it doesn't really show up when you search for it, I guess. Whoever it is knows what they're doing. And obviously, like with the language barrier, it creates a lot of an issue too, because I can't even like talk to these other women. Now, I have added 2 others besides the woman that helped us take it down, and have had some interaction with them and whatnot since all of it happened. Now 2 of them I have on Instagram and on Facebook, but I don't on a couple other of my social media accounts, which, it is what it is. I guess I was kind of leery about adding anyone because I'm not sure who all was involved in the first place. And it's not that I don't believe these women, but like, I mean, I don't know them. And I can't even be like, hey, call me, video chat, we'll talk about this, because they speak very limited English and I speak very limited Spanish, so it would be very difficult conversation. I do have a few friends that speak Spanish, but nobody close to me. Like my closest friend, I think, is in Atlanta, which is like 13 hours from here. A few other people, but they're all like south, like Atlanta and further down. Like I have Atlanta, Florida, Texas, but no one real close to me. So I've been asking around, trying to find someone that maybe can help talk in Spanish. And I'm trying to get the fake brother's profile taken down by exposing the fact that their brother was a fake profile in the first place, because they're still using Frankie's photos as saying, hey, look, this is my brother Frankie. They're even like not even putting like Franklin, like it's actually Frank or Frankie now. And the last name is different. It's still like Del Castillo or whatever. So, I mean, there is at least that bit of a gap, and it's not like they're using his name and photos, and they are older photos, but we tried to figure out any actual like people from this were either all the women that were being catfished or fake profiles. I mean, we found at least 25, if not more, of fake family members. There was the fake brother, like I said, fake aunts, fake cousins. I think there was a fake sister at one point. I'm not sure whatever happened to that account. Like I said, fake friends, fake co-workers, and other fake military. And they were at one point even using photos of 2 different guys for the brother on the brother's page, and on another page they were using photos of 3 different guys. So like, in a way, like, whoever it is knows what they're doing to like not be able to start like reverse the images, but they also were dumb enough to not realize that they're not using the same photos for the supposed people. I guarantee you there's more than 25 fake profiles. That's just what we know of, what we've gone through and figured out were fake. And on top of all of this, there's a fake mom. Okay, so there was a fake profile, and I'm almost positive it's a fake profile, that was bitching about like, oh, this Bryan is using my son's photos without his permission and all this stuff and throwing up a fit. And then you click on it and it looks like it's a fake profile too. And then the photo, like her profile photo, was also used in a post by the fake brother Bryan, listed as something about their mother. So I'm like, okay, were they stealing her photos and her son's photos? Was this all them and they're just trying to cover their tracks? Like, is it her and she's trying to cover her tracks? I don't know. The whole thing was really weird, but she definitely was an English speaker and the others weren't. So that's the one thing that might make me think that she might be a real person, just not on Facebook very often. Happened to realize that, hey, her son's photos were being used in this scheme. I'm not sure what they're getting out of it. I mean, I know there was like hundreds, and that's not even an exaggeration, like hundreds of women, Spanish-speaking women that they catfished. No, I don't know if this person, I have it listed as like Mexicans, because at the time we only knew of the ones in Mexico, or like most of them were in Mexico. Now, like I said, since I found Peru and Brazil, nobody so far in the United States, but I think it's because they don't quite grasp how the U.S. military works. A lot of their posts were just off or wrong, saying that like, oh, this is, you know, they're in the Marines, but it was obviously an Army uniform. There's like the one that said they were like stationed in, like in a base that doesn't even exist, basically. And like the branch is not matching to what they should, things like that. The one was, you know, a sniper in the Marine Corps, which is like the first red flag, because they're very far and few. Like, that's what everybody says, I'm a sniper, I'm recon. And it drives Frankie crazy, because that's like the first thing you're like, sure, were you really in the military, and are you lying about your job? What's your MOS? Let me see your papers. Like, I don't believe you type, because Frankie actually was. He was military police, and then he went to a recon unit down in Georgia for a while before we moved back to Pennsylvania. He moved back to Pennsylvania, and so when he was going through the reconnaissance unit down there, he went to infantry school. So he actually had 3 MOSs at one point. And when he was deployed, he went back to the military police unit down here in towards Pittsburgh. So he knows, you know, the ins and outs. So he can kind of call people out when they're like, oh yeah, I was recon. And it's like, sure. But anyway, yeah, like the one was a sniper, which was like the first thing I was like, yeah, I don't believe you one bit. Like, and just like, that's why I think that they tend to stick to people outside of the United States, because a lot of, I mean, granted, most people, not most, but a lot of people don't know the ins and outs of the military, but there are a lot that do, so they, you know, would get caught a lot easier from trying to get catfish someone from inside the United States, is at least how I'm thinking. I don't know that this person isn't from the United States and just a very, you know, good Spanish speaker, or someone that has always spoke, you know, Spanish or is bilingual. I'm not really sure. I was just guessing from their very limited English or at least they're making it seem like they have very limited English skills. And that most of these women tend to be from Mexico, that this person is in Mexico. That's just a guess. Again, no idea. I can't really narrow it down. Have a really hard time with the language thing. I really think I just need to like learn Spanish. I always wanted to, and then I had the issues with high school and stuff, and then I just never took the time afterwards, so I just, kind of let it go. I speak some very basic. I can more read basic Latin, some ASL, I don't remember a lot of it. I don't use the stuff. I use Latin more than anything, so it's the only reason why I can kind of put enough together to understand what something's being, like, to read something in Latin. But yeah, so if anybody speaks Spanish, I would love to help me. You could. I almost thought about trying to catfish the catfish at one point, but again, I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know how well that would work. Like, I thought about making, getting, with permission, obviously, someone give me permission, because they know me, they know my profile, they know my pictures, my face. I can't use my own photos, so I was gonna ask one of my friends that's not very active on my Facebook, or someone that I don't post photos of a lot, so they don't recognize them, to, if I could use their photos to make this fake, like, Facebook. I know, but anyway, I was gonna use, we were thinking, gonna use one of our friends, make a fake Facebook, and try to talk to whoever is behind the profile of the brother to see if we could actually get information out of them, like where they're at, or a phone number or something, because even a phone number would give away a country. Even if we can't straight out call, at least, I know there are ways around that, but I'm hoping that maybe at least a phone number could give us a country. That way we'd be able to tell, is it United States, is it Mexico, is it, So even if I couldn't speak to them on the phone, I don't know, that maybe I could at least pin down a country and maybe start trying to actually call them out on their bullshit without, like, them just automatically blocking me, because that's what's happened so far. When we posted in the memorial page for the fake Franklin profile, obviously it was like we were posting in English and they're trying to read it, or like I was trying to translate but it just wasn't coming across, so the other girl got involved and was translating for us. She seems to speak pretty good English, so she was, translating and posting and trying to tell them, like, no, this isn't, like him, he had nothing to do with this, like, his pictures were taken. Most of them didn't believe it, I don't think, at least not at the time, because we were very well harassed about it for a while. And I know it's going to come back around, and it's going to be the same thing again, and it's going to link right back, and then I'm going to get bitched at again. But I haven't even checked my, like, message request inbox, because the last time, like I said, we all got harassed over it. Now, she didn't, like, the original, I don't want to say her name, but the original poster, like, that contacted, I think she knew, like, something was definitely up, and, like, this definitely was not, like, our doing, but these other women totally did not believe it at all. So far, that's the gist of it. Like I said, we've been dealing with this for a while. We know it goes back as far as 2012, which is when it seems that all of these fake profiles have been created, was all in 2012. And it doesn't seem like anything was really created after, but they were all kept semi-active. They weren't, like, super active or anything. Like, a normal amount on Facebook would be for most people. Like, I have people that, rarely use their Facebooks, but have them for Messenger, or, just to have, so they can contact people if they need to, but don't really post anything. And then I have other people, or people, even myself, sometimes I probably have more posts than average depending on the day and how sick I am, if I'm in bed for a long time or not. So these profiles were very on the like low side of posting, only a few things here and there once every so many months. And they all seem to be fairly around the same time. So whoever it was like, I'm just going to take a day and go and make some posts on these fake Facebooks I have. I'm pretty sure that it's one person. Again, it could be a couple people doing it or multiple people. I don't know if they're getting money sent to them or anything. No one has said anything like that to us. I have a feeling that it would have been mentioned if they had sent, sent money to Frankie or Franklin or whatever. Nothing like that has ever been mentioned, so I don't think that, at least thank God that has happened. I'm hoping it doesn't, because like I said, the fake brother seemed to be active again. Now I haven't got back on in a few days to actually see anything. I don't know. I've been so fed up with the whole thing, and I've had so many theories, and we've gone through and tried to look at like old. We can't get into Frankie's, like a lot of Frankie's MySpace stuff was wiped out. I mean, I don't even think we might have been able to get into it, but like most of it was gone. Now a lot of my stuff's still there, but I didn't have a lot of those photos, so a lot of them are on my MySpace, so it wasn't mine that was compromised if it was MySpace. So MySpace kind of was a dead end, so we went to Facebook, and I kind of went through to see like comments, if anyone had commented like on his earlier photos and stuff, but it was all like people we knew or people that we knew through other people that knew that they were a real person. So again, I kind of hit a dead end there, and like I said, I saved maybe 12 or 13 of his earlier profile photos and tried the reverse image search, but nothing came up. But like I said, even like his Facebook didn't pop up, my stuff didn't pop up. Like some of the photos I had taken of him that are on both of ours didn't even come up. So, and like and the photos that they did have of him, they had like edited in some way or form. So I'm not sure if that's stopping any of their stuff from showing up. I'm not sure if there's a new profile, if there's any others, none that we are aware of. But yeah, I think right now I'm basically just kind of reaching out to see if anyone could help me speak Spanish to these people, to some of these other women at the very least, to see if I can like catch any other correspondences, find out exactly what happened, what was said, what the messages were between the fake profile and them, because the fake profile's still there. I'm just blocked, but it hasn't not been active. I was able to find it on other Facebooks, and it is still there. It just has not been active in, it says 2016 maybe is when they killed him off or something. Frankie's been out of the military since 2012. And yeah, they said he was over in Afghanistan with his aunt and two cousins. I don't know if they were supposed to be in the military too or not. I wasn't quite understanding, like I said, language barrier. But yeah, anyone that's good at speaking Spanish, you can get a hold of me. Private message me on any of my social media accounts. I'm trying to think. I don't really check YouTube. Instagram, I don't check very often, but I will. It's probably the easiest way of getting a hold of me. If you want to DM me, go to Serenko22 and drop me a message. You can try on Tumblr, but I very rarely check it, and the easiest way honestly is Facebook, but I kind of have it set that you can't message directly to me unless you're friends with me already. So like I said, easiest way would probably just be Instagram, Serenko22. Or you can message Frankie and Serenko3, but I don't think he checks his like ever, so you're probably best to get a hold of me on my main Instagram page. Yeah, if you go to my Tumblr though, you can find my post. I think I unset it to private. I had it set to private for a while because I had posted it and then I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't because I don't want them to know I'm looking into it really. But now I kind of don't have a choice in reaching out to anybody that could help me speak some Spanish or translate some stuff. So yeah, just like I said, get a hold of me in Serenko22 on Instagram. I also have my cosplay Instagram, which you can message me there too, but all my stuff's listed under my Linktree, which is the Linktree / MEPS11, like MEPES11. You can find most of my stuff from there. I don't necessarily check a lot of it very often. I kind of have them, but I don't use them. So Instagram, Facebook, you can get me on Twitter, but again, I don't really check my DMs like ever. I should probably do that, but yeah, just DM me on Instagram and hopefully maybe we can figure it out. I'm so fed up with the whole thing that like, I don't know. I don't want to like make a big deal out of it. So YouTube it is, because I have a lot of like, yeah. I don't have that many people that watch my YouTube videos, thank God. So I'm hoping that some of you that do can, maybe help me or find someone to help me. I'm trying to keep it on the down low as much as possible. So I'd appreciate that too. But yeah, it's been easier if Frankie was here to help, but he's not. So it's me tonight, and I don't know. Whole things have been very irritating. It's given me a headache for years. I know, like, we've had some times, like, in between where we haven't really had any activity or correspondence with it. It always comes back. Like, we thought we completely had got rid of it last year when, it was like, he's not dead. I don't know who you were talking to, but, like, it wasn't him, and he's alive. He wasn't killed in Afghanistan. Obviously, the person that you were talking to wasn't either, because it was fake. Like, the whole thing was fake to get sympathy. Now, like I said, the big brother's using it to get sympathy. Like, oh, my brother was killed in Afghanistan. He was my hero. I always looked up to him. He was my big brother. And they're using some other military guys' pictures. There's two different guys that you can definitely tell. I have most of it saved. And like I said, there's also the Tumblr post, which you can find from my Linktree, or it's pineapples, cherries, and salt is my thing. I think I retweeted it to my Chuck fan page too, but I retweeted, blogged, whatever. So, but it's probably easiest to find it on there. Just go there and tag like stolen pictures or fake profiles. Search a tag on my blog and it should be like the only thing that pops up. So yeah, like I said, so far it's not really like been a huge ordeal or anything for us as of like, other than the harassment, like the nasty messages and stuff, which again I could just kind of ignore because these people are all like out of country. So for the most part I just ignore them or block them, and let it go. I tried to talk to them, but like there sometimes is no getting through, and I think that's partially because of the language issue. But this would be a very good time to be able to speak Spanish, and maybe somebody can help us get through and like make a post up in Spanish about how like this Bryan is fake, so I can post it so these women realize, hey, he is not who he says he is. I don't know if it's male or female, if any of these people have talked to Franklin or Bryan on the phone or anything like that. Like I said, it would be nice to be able to ask some of the women these questions, though, that like I could at least have some answers, and Frankie could have some answers. And I tried to find some of the other guys to let them know, like, hey, your pictures are being stolen, but again, it was not giving me anything. I was just getting nothing, like no results, like, and some like military uniform things were the only things that were coming up. So it would be nice to be able to maybe try to track these other people down too, and let them know, hey, this is going on, your pictures have been stolen and being used by these fake, I don't know if it's a network of people or one person, but they're being used to catfish all these Spanish speaking women. And we tried to put a stop to it when it was my husband's that they stole and were using, and all it kind of did was backfire. Yeah, if any of you are very fluent in Spanish and would be willing to translate for us with these other people, especially if you're somewhere within Western, like Pennsylvania area, like close in around Pittsburgh, or within decent amount of time, I would even be willing to meet up and do it, like, if you'd be willing to help. So I'm just throwing this out there with hope that maybe somebody in my general area can speak a decent amount of Spanish and can help us. It would help a lot, and I don't know if we'd actually get any information, and obviously we can't like do what they do on the show and track these people down and confront them because they're in another freaking country, and I'm not going to travel to like Mexico. Well, at least I think I'm not going to travel to Texas either, for that matter, to confront these people. But I still would like to, at least even through a computer screen, try to talk to them, or at least these other women, to be like, hey, I am sorry, like, it was all faked, and don't believe this brother either, because it's not real any more than the Franklin page was. But at the very least, we could let them know and make sure that like they let other people know too, that this person is not real and it is all fake. And like, if you see these photos, this is not who they say they are. Yeah, if you're anywhere around Pittsburgh area, especially, but even if not, I don't have a Skype at the moment because when Frankie was overseas, it was constant, like the connection was cutting out all the time. And we both hate the Skype sound. It was like just like this constant thing for so many months that the missed call thing and the ringing connection and everything, that I don't think either of us have used Skype since he came home. But I can obviously read thing and make a new Skype chat if someone wants to Skype, or whatever the other ones even are. I don't even know anymore. Honestly, I usually just use Facebook if we're gonna like video chat. All of like my friends, and we all just use the Facebook, but I can use Skype if I need to. Obviously, I have, it's not the greatest in the world, but it's a decent webcam, and it's in my laptop. So, like I said, if you'd be willing to, I could send everything over, and then you could, translate, and I could maybe tell you what we want to say, and you could translate to Spanish and send it back to us, or something along those lines. It would be very, very helpful. And again, I'm just throwing this out there. I'm gonna have to cut this down because this video is now up to 36 minutes, but thank you.